If there is anything that needs to be satirized and remixed, it is Trump talking about massive dumps. And by the way, extra points, if you can sample Trump saying massive dumps and me talking about it in a song, please do it.
Dumps. Big massive dumps. Dumps. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dump, dump, dumps. Dumps. Dump.
Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dump, dump, dumps. Dumps. Dump.
Dump. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dump, dump,
won.
dumps. Dumps. Dump.
Dump. Big massive dumps.
Donald Trump insisted multiple times that it was massive dumps that led him to lose the election, which is just
on another level, on another level.
Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dump,
won.
dump, dumps. Dumps. Dump.
Dump. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dump,
won.
dump, dumps. Dumps. Dump.
Dump. Big massive dump.
You turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea because you could never handle it. People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. Quietly tripping.
Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dump,
won.
dump, dumps. Dumps. Dump.
Dump. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dump, dump, dumps. Dumps. Dump.
Dumps.
what is going on here? What is going on here? It's just beyond parody. I mean, massive dumps cost him the election. What is going on here? What is going on here? It's just beyond parody. I mean, massive dumps cost him the election. What is going on here? What is
Dumps. Dumps. Dump.
Dumps.
massive dumps?
Look at that. 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 That is freaking predator right there.
What?
Who thinks he's smarter than you?
What?
Who thinks he's smarter than you?
What?
Who thinks he's smarter than you?
This is just a statistic. This is just a statistic. This is just a statistic.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. This is just a
Look at
statistic.
that.
This is just a
Look at
statistic.
that.
This is just a
Look at
statistic.
that.
This is just a
Look at that.
statistic.
Look at that.
Alex Jones is lying to you. That might come as a shock.
Pac-Man.
What?
Pac-Man.
What?
Pac-Man. This is just a statistic. 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 Jones has fake callers. Jones has fake callers. Jones has fake callers. Jones has fake callers. This is just a statistic. 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 Corporate takeover, censorship, debanking, arrest, tyranny.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Corporate takeover, censorship, debanking, arrest, tyranny.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Corporate takeover, censorship, debanking, arrest, tyranny.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Corporate takeover, censorship, debanking, arrest, tyranny.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
But sinks, toilets, and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
What on earth is going on with Trump and toilets? Trump's White House toilet would be clogged with documents that Donald Trump was flushing down the toilet. Is this the explanation?
Elements of bathrooms. 10 times, 15 times.
Doing this with his personal toilet.
Elements of bathrooms.
Big massive dumps.
Elements of bathrooms. Duty. Times, 15 times. Elements of bathrooms. God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Look at those eyes, man. That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Alex Jones is now very, very upset with me.
Look at that. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you. Pac-Man never talked to the New World Order because Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. He's not a knight at the round table.
That's true. I'm not a knight at the round. That actually is accurate.
That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Pac-Man. If I was telling my children who not to be, it's Pac-Man. Man's a loser. Smarter than you. He's better than you. He's gonna beat you.
The evil's growing, it's coming. What you asked for is now at the door, scratching. So open the door and prepare to meet your destiny.
Pac-Man's a loser. Man's a loser. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you.
Uh-oh. Mangoes?
My bag of mangoes.
Uh-oh. I love mangoes too.
9 cents. Okay. Now that we are up under a Biden's regime, my bag of mangoes now costs $11.99.
That seems like a pretty good deal. A bag of mangoes? Aren't mangoes like $3 each? That's it. I want what, $8 or $11? That sounds good.
The American people alive. And highway robbery is what you're doing. Bring my mangoes back down. My bag of mangoes. My bag of mangoes.
Mangoes?
My bag of mangoes. Bring my mangoes back down. Raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Bring my mangoes back down.
The Wisconsin crowd identified with the mangoes.
Disproportionately affected the American people. Those who want me to be healthy. Those who want me to be healthy. It's highway robbery is what you're doing. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of
Mangoes? All right, welcome everybody. So much to discuss. I'm so glad that you're here. The news is not particularly good, and I'm going to talk about chemical weapons today. We're going to talk about the bombing of a maternity ward. It's not good. It's not good, but at least we are here. At least we are here. A few important, I guess we would call them announcements. I don't know, how elements of housekeeping. First and foremost, I will probably be covering the Trump rally on Saturday. It's in South Carolina. It's sort of what we might call a proper 2022 rally in that in theory, the rally is in support of 2022 candidates endorsed by Donald Trump. So that is, going to be pretty interesting, I guess. And I will probably be covering it depending on what I have going on. Now, there are people asking me to cover a particular Trump interview. Trump's doing an interview with a prank channel. Is that true? March 9th. Yeah, okay. If someone can send the Nelk Boys, I don't even know what that is. If anybody can, I was going to look at some clips from a new Trump interview, but the Nelk, if somebody can email info@davidpakman.com with a link to whatever this Nelk Boys thing it is, I would consider looking at it. Okay, so programming note number 1, I may indeed be covering the Trump rally on Saturday. And then secondly, next week into the following, next Friday, I'm going to be down in Florida, where I will appear on Anthony Pompliano's Best Business Show. That's going to be on Friday in Florida. And then on Tuesday in Florida, I will appear on Patrick Bet David's Patrick Bet David podcast. So that'll be Tuesday, the following, you understand. So that's going to be, that's something very interesting to look forward to. And I think many of you will enjoy it. And then lastly, I want to mention that I will be giving away. So as some of you know, I have this gavel, which we use to adjudicate when people want to get unbanned. I'll say, yes, unbanned or not. And then that's what happens. The thing is broken. And so we are going to be giving this away to a lucky Twitch viewer when we reach 100,000 Twitch followers. I don't know how we're going to give it away. We're going to give it away to a follower somehow, but I don't exactly know how. And just to make it even cooler, I'm going to take my Sharpie and I will sign this thing, I guess here, which is the best area. There it is, my signature. So at some point, this thing will be given away. Where'd the cap go? Oh, it's on here. Hold on. Yeah. So I don't know how. I know when we're going to give it away, which is when we hit 100,000 followers on Twitch. I don't yet know how we're going to give it away. If people have ideas, you can get in touch with a suggestion. Okay. All right. So someone sent me the Nelke Boys Trump interview, and we'll look at that a little bit later. Okay, let's start with really what the major news is. First and foremost, Western officials are, quote, seriously concerned that Vladimir Putin may use chemical weapons. Now, we've already talked on the podcast today. We talked about tactical battlefield nukes, which are not like, what we saw in Hiroshima or Nagasaki, but rather I guess to some degree we would call them like marginally less destructive nukes. So that's one concern. Here's the other component of this. Western officials see the prospect of Russia deploying non-conventional weapons as a realistic possibility. It emerged today as Ukraine accused Putin of targeting a maternity hospital. Western officials have concerns. The UK prepares to send anti-aircraft missiles to Ukraine. Now, I have to tell you, I don't think Russia would target a children's and maternity hospital. I can't think of any reason why they would deliberately do that. But the point is that they're being careless enough that they've hit a children's and maternity hospital. That's my opinion, for what it's worth. And I'm glad for other people to say, no. Here's why Putin would target a maternity hospital. I just don't think, I think there's an indifference and there's a lack of precision, but I can't think of why it would be deliberate. There's no real advantage. And if you think, oh, well, if you target a maternity hospital, Ukrainians will be so demoralized, they'll just quit resisting. No, it doesn't really make sense to me. I'm not defending Putin. I just think it's out of ignorance. I think there's random shelling going on, and it's just absolutely and completely immoral what they are doing. A Western official spoke on the condition of anonymity and said, we're seeing some of the disinformation come out of Moscow about non-conventional weapons. We saw this in Syria, the Russians starting that talk when they or their proxies were about to use those weapons there. Asked if there are concerns that Russia will use chemical weapons, they replied, quote, we have good reason to be concerned about the possible use of non-conventional weapons, partly because we've seen what has happened in other theaters, for example, Syria, partly because we see a bit of setting the scene for that in the false flag claims that are coming out. So it's a serious concern for us. Russian-backed Syria was repeatedly accused of using chemical weapons there. Russia vetoed a 2017 UN resolution that would have looked into who was responsible. The Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons found people were exposed to sarin gas in 2017, but did not identify who was responsible. So that's the concern there. Here's a report about the maternity hospital. Associated Press report, airstrike hits Ukraine maternity hospital, 17 reported hurt. A Russian airstrike devastated a maternity hospital Wednesday amid growing warnings from the West that Moscow's invasion is about to take a more brutal and indiscriminate turn. Ukrainian officials say at least 17 were wounded in the attack. So that's a real problem. And then this is Daily Mail, so, take it for what it's worth. Biden sends 2 Patriot missile batteries to Poland after calling plan to send all their MiG-29 jets to Ukraine unworkable. Vice President Harris will arrive in Warsaw today as hand-to-hand combat breaks out in the Kyiv suburbs, that is something. And then stalled and frustrated Putin will likely double down in the coming weeks per the CIA. Now, of course, the CIA sometimes gets things wrong. That's for sure. But so far, I mean, listen, if you go back a couple weeks now, even months, Intel says Ukraine is massing troops Russia's massing troops at the Ukrainian border. You've got, a certain contingent of people saying it's literally not happening. No, it is. The intel was right. Putin plans to invade. No, they say Putin's never going to invade. And then he does. Well, he's not going to go further. It's never going to get to Kyiv. And then it does. And, on this, it's not just the CIA. And for people talking, it's other countries' intel as well. And, I don't care about the CIA. The CIA is sometimes correct and is sometimes horribly incorrect. It's not about, we always trust X and distrust Y. But for people talking about the false case for war in Iraq made in 2003, circumstances are very different. And in addition, a lot of the evidence is just publicly available. It's not based on interpretations of the evidence. So for people saying it's just like when we could trust them on the Iraq, no, it's not. It's nothing like that. So those are all concerns that we're following. Ukraine maternity hospital bombed by Russian forces, pure genocide. Some are calling it. We already talked about the details of that bombing. Russia using thermobaric rockets which rupture lungs in Ukraine, confirms the Ministry of Defense. Again, this is the Mirror, another media outlet that I want to say, let's verify, but increasingly widespread reports about that. So these are all the different things that are going on, and many of them are extraordinarily disturbing. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. Super chats. Did we ban gold from Russia? We didn't ban gold, but apparently they might ban men.
And we will ban men.
Right. Okay. Let me say thank you to a few people. Those people are Elevated Disc Golf, Fairy Tigers, Sparkliest Socialist, who has both gifted a subscription and subscribed, Twisted Lover, and Brankle Brandleby. 6 people getting some beautiful Twitch Prime subscriptions. Also, I want to say a big thank you to Andrew Martin. Andrew's the first person today to sign up on my website, joinpacman.com, and is new member number 7. I very much appreciate that. Robert says, break Russia economically and militarily, demilitarize Russia, or this will happen again, but worse. That's Robert's opinion. From Sweden, I believe. Also, thank you to Magic Turtle and ACAZ for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Thank you very much, everybody. All right, let's get into some other things. Let me see where to even start. Oh, okay. Here's a farcical clip. This is Eric Balling from, I guess this is he's on Newsmax. Yeah. He says the entire Russian invasion of Ukraine is the fault of Kamala Harris. That's quite a big brain hot take.
But now she's been to Europe twice. Whew. In all seriousness, because this is a very serious situation, Kamala Harris is going to stop World War III. Joe Biden has sent her in. She's the one. Think about that for a second, folks. Biden made her border czar to try and stop the border crisis, and it only got worse and worse. What Russia and China are seeing right now is disorganization, a disorganized NATO, lacking in common ground and even in communication. And Putin is watching very closely, looking for weakness, and sending in one Kamala Harris only exposes just how weak and poor our decision-making processes are. A reminder that the last time Kamala went to Europe, she gave a speech about how Ukraine should join NATO, and Russia, 4 days later, invaded Ukraine.
That's a very, very dumb take, I have to tell you. It's almost like the opposite of what he's saying is true. Yeah. Eric Balling is sort of like a low rent. Let me think. Who is he like a low rent of? I don't even know. There's really no equivalent to Balling. It's not like a Tucker. It's not like a Jesse Waters. A low rent Jim Lehrer. No. But it's got to be like a low rent version of another right winger. I don't know. He's a low rent. Eric Balling's a low rent version of himself when he was on Fox News. It's just him, but just on Newsmax, which is, marginally more depressing, I guess. Okay, so that's his opinion. Here is an anti-mask activist. Imagine being an activist against cloth. Anti-mask activist says M&M's packaging is blasphemy, which could lead you to hell. This I have to see. Let's take a look here.
Oh, here we go with another big corporation company making fun of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. There's nothing new under the sun. They love to mock Jesus. And you know how I know that he's the one true God? Because they never mock any other God. You never hear them saying anything about Buddha. You never hear them saying anything about Allah.
If everybody was mocking Zeus by this explanation, I would have no choice but to believe Zeus is the one true God.
It is always Jesus. There's literally a dove ascending right above his head, right here in this image. It is disgusting. It is blasphemy, but this is what they like to do. You want to know how I know that God is the truth? Check this out. This is what the Lord just revealed to me. Think about when you are in the truth when it comes to things that are going on in the world, right? With the news. What does the false prophet media do?
Listen, if you think M&Ms are demonic, I've got to explain to you something about a Snickers bar.
Scoffs at you, makes fun of you, makes you think that you're wrong, right? Tells you that you're not in the truth, but really you are in the truth. And then when you're following the lies, they cheer you on and they're all for it. It's the same thing with Jesus. They mock, they make fun of. Why? Because they know that they can lead you on a road down to hell if they can make you believe that it's not true. Oh, here we go.
Do you guys understand what she's talking about? Like, I have no idea what she's talking about. There's a dove in the image, and so it's mocking Jesus. Does anybody know what she's talking about? Nobody. Yeah, I just have no idea. It's a religious rant of some kind, I guess, but I don't know. It's extraordinarily disturbing. Yeah, I want to say thanks to Andre Bavaria, who just made a Twitch Prime sub and says, what do you think will happen to Putin after the war? Obviously, relations to Russia under Putin can't go back to normal when this is over. Do you think Putin is done no matter how the war ends? No, I don't think Putin is done no matter how the war ends, but I think there is a chance Putin ends up dead. But I don't think it's a guarantee that Putin is done. I know Scaramucci was saying that Putin's done for, but I'm just not sure. Peppy says she's listening to the Assassin's Creed theme. And Wander says, this is what the Lord revealed to me. Lady, try DMT and then we can talk. Keep up the good work, David. Yes, thank you. Very, very appropriate take there. Okay, here's Peter Doocy today. I guess very confused about how oil pipelines work, continuing to talk about Keystone XL. Let's listen.
Because there's a lot of gray area here. Is a restart of the Keystone XL construction completely off the table as long as Joe Biden is president?
Well, why don't you tell me what that would help address?
I'm asking you if it is an option. You guys say all options are on the table. Is restarting Keystone construction one of them?
If we're trying to bring about more supply, that does not address any problem.
It's supplied from Canada, a friendly ally, instead of Saudi Arabia.
That's already
or Iran.
we're already getting that oil, Peter. It's the pipeline is just a delivery mechanism. It is not an oil field, so it does not provide more supply into the system. It does not address.
Is it possible that Joe Biden will ever say, you guys can go ahead with construction of Keystone XL?
There's no plans for that, and it would not address any of the problems we're having currently.
I'm going to ask you guys something, and I want people in the chat to really be honest with me about this, okay? I'm going to tell you something about Keystone XL, and I just want you guys to say in the chat, I knew that or I didn't know that, okay? When they talk about Keystone XL being stopped, okay? Keystone XL pipeline phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 are already functioning. When they talk about Keystone XL, they're actually talking about phase 4, but the pipeline is already there and it's already delivering oil to, I forget the states. I think it's like Oklahoma. Did you guys know that or not know that? Like, in other words, I think a lot of people believe there is no Keystone XL pipeline and that all of it has been stopped. Most people did not know that. Right. For the amount that the right talks about Keystone XL, it's not even mentioned that the pipeline's up and running. What has been stopped is phase 4. And now this part I'm less sure about. You guys can tell me. I believe part of the controversy about phase 4 is that it would go through some indigenous land, and there was a conflict and a disagreement about that. Am I recalling that correctly? That part of this is about the indigenous land that phase 4 would go through. It's like a slightly wider pipeline. That also applies to, okay. Most people seem to think that's what it is. Yeah. Anyway, so there's two things here. First of all, Keystone XL is up and running. It's just phase 4 that has been stopped. But more importantly, we are in a gas price crisis today. It would take years to do phase 4 of Keystone XL, or at least a year, like most optimistically. The idea that would solve anything to restart that construction today is just completely absurd. People like Ducey want to spread the idea that Biden overnight could drop gas prices by saying start construction of what is one of 4 phases of Keystone XL. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. It's completely absurd. Okay, let's continue with some other stuff here. Oh, let's look at this. I think some of you will find this funny. So I know that many of you missed yesterday's AMA. I did an AMA on the politics Discord, which has about 62,000 subscribers, and they were all pretty normal calls until the last 2. And we're going to clip these and separate them out. But just for people who missed these yesterday, these were pretty funny.
Going to be respectful of David's time. Arab, what's your name? Arab Love Rush, I think your name is. You're next. Whenever you're ready, mister.
Yeah, so like, I noticed that a lot of your content's based on like Trump, January 6th, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm wondering, like, why don't you focus on like real politics instead of like this weird like Trump stuff?
Okay, what's a topic you'd like me to cover?
You should cover like the fight for Medicare for all, the fight for labor, instead of like, oh, Trumpers said this, or like anti-vaxxers scream in a Walmart.
Well, we cover all of those. I do know exactly what you're saying. I appreciate the question. We do cover all of those things, and I absolutely love the feedback.
All right. Well, let me give you a challenge before I go. Can you not make a video about Trump for like 1 week? Just 1 week.
What's the point of the challenge?
Just to see if you can do it. Just to see if you can not talk about Trump for a week.
And what would that prove?
I don't know. I mean, if you look at your channel, every single day it's like Trump investigation or January 6th committee. It's like, why don't you just do 1 week where it's like, I'm not going to talk about Trump. I'm going to restrain from Trump stuff. And I'm going to go to other things. Okay.
And if I do that, then what would we prove or achieve?
Like the whole politics world is going to like change. Everything's going to change.
Just based on my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really some. I should think. I didn't. That's a lot of power. I mean, when you think about it that way, that's really a lot of power. Yeah.
I got to say, I sincerely regret you being one of the last questions. But thank you. Thank you, Mr. Next question, last question.
And the last one's the wackiest. This is a historic phone call, this next one.
And we will
It's going to be from Scribbles. Scribbles, if you're ready, go for it.
Hi, here. I'm just gonna step up. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, I'm getting my nails done. I just want.
Hold on a second. You're at a nail salon right now?
Yeah, and I feel bad. They're picking up my color for me, and I totally just left them. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Oh my God. What is that, like acrylic or something?
Yeah, I'm getting my tips redone, actually.
Sorry, you're getting what redone?
My tips.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Holy
So
shit.
it's acrylic, but they're gel, right? 'Cause,
Yes.
Like, you don't want them to chip, right? Like no chips.
I gotcha.
Anyways, okay. Hi. Okay. First comment, real quick. Hi. Okay. I'm Dina. First comment. Your voice is way deeper on these calls. Like on your YouTube channel. I don't know why. Is that weird? Okay. Second comment. I kind of want to pick your brain about hate speech, right? Because so I feel like I'm kind of like a moral fear. Like, so like I'm not a moral relative when it comes to hate speech, right? Because I still think there's like objective things when it comes to like something should not be crossed when it comes to hate speech. But like
I was playing this call for people all night yesterday.
also I get so like I'm Palestinian. So like I get when it comes to a point where like BDS obviously is like totally slandered in like American media where it's like, oh, it's a terrorist organization, all this BS, right? But also there's some things that literally just should not be crossed in, I think, like civil speech, right? So I just like wanted your view on like what you perceive as hate speech and like if you do think that any speech should be allowed. Like if you're like a free speech like absolutist, you know what I mean?
I am not. Wow, that's a lot there. You're shot out of a cannon today, I have to say.
Oh no, absolutely. No, this is like how I typically talk. I'm actually talking really slow right now because I don't want people here to think like I'm on crack cocaine, you know what I mean? With love and peace. Sorry, okay, just go on.
You're talking slow right now, you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, good. Listen, I am close to a free speech absolutist. Now, hold on a second. Are you in what context? Are you just saying like on Twitter or what, or if I had my own platform or what do you, or the government?
So
what do you
like,
mean?
Okay, so like, okay, so I get the whole platform debate. It's like, oh, I own Twitter, so I could say this, right? But when people say that, I reply, Twitter is definitely now public space, to be honest, right? But okay, let's just do the government context because like if we went into the whole Twitter debate, that'd be a whole other conversation, right? So we'll just do government debates right now, right? Like if we're in a public space, like debating on protesting, right?
Yeah.
How free should it be, right? Because like I know there's this whole like content versus time and space, but like the government can obviously use time and space even when they just want to do content, just to be like, oh, we're just putting a curfew because we want to protect the public, but it's actually because they want to limit BLM protests, right?
Time and space. That's interesting. Now, are you talking metaphysically? Like, are we talking about the government could even bend space-time to its advantage?
No. I'm talking about like, how they could do curfew laws. If you're talking about it, like if you're taking it to court and stuff, you can be like, oh my God, I know what you're doing. I sound stupid. You know what I mean? Like curfew laws, right? Because I'm from Wisconsin too. So like during the the protest that led to the like what's his name or whatever his name is, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Are you talking about? Whoa. Are you talking about Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah, but the reason why Kyle Rittenhouse whole thing was they shouldn't have been out in the first place because there was curfew laws, and they put the curfew laws because they were saying, oh, they want the safety of the public. But really, if you're going to take it to court, they were actually doing it because of the BLM. Like, it was the content, not the time reasoning. You know what I mean?
I actually don't know where you mean. Where is your accent from? Are you from New York?
No, I'm from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin? That's a very unusual accent.
No, like, do you want to? Okay, so I took a class on this. That's how I know because I was going to be a lawyer and then had a mental breakdown, right? So I took an undergrad class about this, right? So the reasoning if you took this to court, right? There's two there's like strict perception of it, and then there's like non-strict perception of or like whatever. Oh my God, I should have my notes in front of me. I'm literally at this lawn right now. So like the time thing is like we're going to not allow protest because of the timing versus we're not going to allow the protest because we don't like the content of what you're protesting, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times,
Guys, this is not sped up. I have to, people are like, slow it down to 1x. This is not sped up.
the government says we're going to not allow it because of the time, because it's too late. And they use that a lot though when it's the content they don't like either. But they can get away with it because of the timing. Do you get what I mean?
You're not from Long Island? Are you serious?
Oh my god. But like, I want to pick your brain about hate speech, right?
Yes, we're going. You want to pick my brain about hate speech? That part I understand. We've not gotten anywhere further than that. So, well, listen. It sounds like a lot is going on. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the call. I hope that the manicure goes well. What's a manicure cost in Wisconsin anyway?
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, the original manicure was like literally $60, but it's only $40 now because it's just a refill, so it's fine.
I'm sorry. What is it? How much does it cost?
It was $60 for the original one because I get a particular shape, right? I get an almond with a round tip because I hate square. Like square shaped manicures look like really abrasive and really like masculine to me, and I fucking hate it, right? So if you want something really soft, if you like have a girl in your life, to tell her always get almond and round tip. Yeah.
Can you just tell me where you're really from? Like that
Wisconsin.
You're not from Long Island.
No.
Wow. Well, listen, thank you so much. I can't think of a better note on which we would... No, I don't even know what the question is. You want to pick my brain about hate speech. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to say thank you, but...
All right, well. Anyway, so that's a pretty historic phone call. I don't know that we've ever really had anything like that on the... Anywhere, quite frankly. I want to say thank you to Bad Circuits and Mr. Vister for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Okay, I will do a free coffee mug for whoever first uses Please Don't War or Obama as a coupon code on my website, okay? First person at joinpacman.com to get a membership using either the code Please Don't War or Obama, I will send you a coffee mug anywhere in the world that has sort of like normal, postal service and stuff like that. Okay, I have so much more to get to, so I'm going to continue. Geshmake via Super Chat said, Peter Ducey's insipid questions are extremely lacking in anything that appeals to a cerebrally active audience. I think his tenure will be a long one on the Fox Propaganda Network. Thank you, sir. Yes, thank you, sir.
Sir.
Okay, let's get to these new Trump clips. Trump did an interview with Ronna McDaniel, and it's a crazy interview. Let's just look at some of these clips.
Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being out there. I just have two fun things I want to say to you.
These are going to be fun, guys. Are we ready for some fun? It's going to get fun now.
One, you're such a wonderful person. You've been so great to women.
Haven't 46 women accused him of anything ranging from harassment to assault? Wow, that's really fun, guys. She was right. I mean, that was really, really fun. Okay, let's go to the next clip.
And you saved hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives with that.
When, we had in 1917, 100 million people died. I think we would have had the same thing. So
now understand that it was 1918. Oh, hey, everybody coming over from Jeff Waldorf's Twitch stream. We are checking out a new Trump interview. He keeps saying 1917. It was the 1918 flu. And he's slurring very badly. Yeah, I know.
And you saved hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives with that.
When, we had in 1917, 100 million people died. I think we would have had the same thing. So we did something that was incredible. We did it in less than 9 months, and it was supposed to take anywhere from 5 to 12 years.
How many lies are in this 17-second clip? Okay, I'm going to actually, let me really do this justice, because I think this could be a record for lies. And he's only talking for a few of the seconds. Let's really go lie by lie.
And you saved hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives with that.
Well, we had in 1917.
Okay, so it wasn't 1918. I'm sorry, it wasn't 1917. It was 1918. So that's the misstatement or lie number one. Let's continue.
100 million people died. I think we would have had the same thing. So
okay, there is no serious estimate about 100 million people dying of COVID. I have not seen that. So he's wrong about that.
We did something that was incredible. We did it in less than 9 months, and it was supposed to take anywhere from 5 to 12 years.
Okay, so 5 to 12 years. Yeah. So that's not true. What Trump is referring to is that before mRNA, do people know this? Before mRNA technology, if you're just building or developing or creating a one-off vaccine from scratch, it can take 5 to 12 years. The whole point of mRNA technology, which has been in development for over a decade, is you have the platform ready to go, and then you can quickly sequence the virus and create the vaccine. So it has so I guess that's lie number 3. And really lie number 4 is that Trump did anything. Trump didn't do anything. He agreed to pre-purchase vaccines. That's all. That's all Trump did. He didn't do anything about developing it. So I guess 4 lies in, he starts talking at 5 seconds. So 4 lies in 12 seconds, guys. That's like, it's rapid fire lies. It's all very, very dishonest. It really is. I want to say thank you to Samuel Partout, who just signed up at joinpacman.com with the coupon code OBAMNA. Samuel, you have won a free David Pakman Show coffee mug. Please email info@davidpakman.com to tell us where to send it. Also, thank you and welcome to Vagabond Soul, MZ Frazzled, and Kafka-esque for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 15. I really appreciate that. Very, very much so. Let's continue here.
There was never anybody tougher on Russia than I was.
There's lie number 1, I guess. I mean, that one, that's a good one, huh?
And I would say that Putin would, if he was being honest, he would say that.
No. Putin would not say Trump was really tough on me. That's not something Putin would say. 7 seconds in, 2 lies.
Sanctions I put on, I was the one that ended Nord Stream.
Exactly.
There was never anybody even close. I mean, Nord Stream to them, Nord Stream 2 was the biggest thing. Nobody ever even heard of it until I came along complaining.
Losing Nord Stream 2 is not the worst thing that's ever happened to Russia. Even as is noted here, 27 million people died in the Soviet Union during World War II. What Trump did to Nord Stream 2 is not the worst thing that's ever happened to Russia.
And then I shut it down. And there was never anything so big that happened to Russia, shutting down Nord Stream 2.
Yeah, that's very, very much not true. Obama Prump asked whether that caller was Whitney. No, we're going to hear from Whitney in a little bit. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have a lot of time here to go. Okay, here's another breadcrumb of this bizarre interview.
I think that's actually a big reason why the problem you have with Ukraine. I think when Putin and when Xi and when Kim Jong-un and when the Iranians are watching that, the Iranian leaders, I think they saw what happened in Afghanistan, and I think that gave them a new sense of power and dignity.
They got dignity from when Biden left Afghanistan? What is he talking about? Does anybody know what that means? There was a sense of dignity experienced by President Xi when Biden left Afghanistan? What does that even mean? I just don't get it. Nobody. Okay, you guys are as confused as I am. Fair. Thanks to Captain Flashheart for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. All right, let's now go to the much requested. Oh, wait, this wasn't it. That's some kind of UFC thing. Wait a second. Where is this? Masvidal. No, hold on. Someone emailed it to me. There's another Trump interview here that we wanted to look at. Here it is. Let's see what this is all about. I have no idea what channel or show this even is.
Today's amazing, huh? We're gonna make history today, boys. It's pretty crazy.
I thought Steve would rock shorts for sure. Yeah, throwing the sweats for the prezi.
Former president, by the way. Former.
Is this a cringe stream?
You got to think of all the people that are going to watch this interview.
Well, that's why I'm
because he hasn't spoken on this issue yet.
All right, I guess they talked to Trump.
You can sit right here.
All right, great. So yeah, we'll go for it. We're at Mar-a-Lago. Can't even believe this is happening. We got Donald Trump, President of the United States.
Round of applause.
Round of applause. Thank you,
Round
Mr.
of
Trump.
applause,
Yay.
man.
Thank you.
We're really, really excited to be doing this.
It's my honor. My honor. You come highly recommended by Dana White, and that's good enough for me.
So what?
It's already genius.
A full group of people. I guess you're friends of his, and
Very
you
good
do
friends.
the UFC thing, and he's done an incredible job. And when he said that, I've been with Dana for a long time. He's been my friend for a long time.
With him.
And I said, that's good enough for me. But you've done a great job.
We've become such good friends with Dana. We've always been fans of the UFC, but kind of met him through his son was a big fan of our content. So it's been a blessing to be able to be friends with Dana White. He's such a good guy.
He is. He does. I tell you, I don't know what would happen with UFC without him. That's one man. They say you can always replace somebody. I'm not sure if that man is replaceable.
Definitely not.
He's,
I know.
he's
What's the
good
UFC
man.
going to be like when Dana's gone?
Well, he'll be there for a long time, so we're not going to have to worry about that, right? Don't you think?
I expected you to be rolling in here with no suit on, coming off the golf course. I was expecting, you always rocking the suit.
No, I'm a worker. I work hard. I work.
Oh, this is too much. This is too much. I can't tell are they trolling him or are they for real? I don't even understand what's happening here. This is perplexing.
Work long hours. I work hard. I see what's going on with our country right now. It's never been in a position like this. Now we're going to get oil, I hear, from Venezuela and Iran. Now think of this, and Russia. If you would have...
What are you talking about? Biden banned Russian imports of oil. And when is this from? This is from... What's the date here? The date's not showing for some. Am I missing what date when this was uploaded? Weird. I guess are you even able to hide that? I've never seen that hidden on YouTube. All right.
Told me that just a short while ago we had oil at $30 a barrel and even less, and now we're up to. You see what's happening today. You guys probably haven't because you've been sitting here for a half an hour. But if you were watching, every 10 minutes it's going. It's like a rocket ship going up. And that's costing the world. It's also fueling Russia, but it's costing the world. The energy has never gone. It just broke a record, an all-time record.
Why is this guy grinning like a doofus? Who are these guys?
Per barrel. And there's never been anything like this. And we had it down to $30 a barrel. And
now, of course, that had nothing to do with Trump. I mean, there was a demand collapse when planes stopped flying and cars stopped driving. And of course, now we have a global situation. I mean, this just has almost nothing to do with Trump nor Biden.
Really, even less in a sense. We had to fight to keep it up because we had so much of it. We were going to be twice as big as Russia and Saudi Arabia combined.
Saudi Arabia.
And that would have taken place in a very short while. We were already energy independent, and we already became number one. And now they cut way back, and it's all for... the environment, and we had the cleanest air and the cleanest water yet recorded during my last year. Surrounded by water, big water, ocean water. So it's what's happening now is horrible. What's happening in Ukraine is it's genocide. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And because of modern technology,
2 weeks ago it was savvy.
And the cell phones and everything, you get to see all of these atrocities. You're seeing them on tape, on television. Nobody's ever seen anything like this.
So would you blame the gas prices? Is that because of this conflict in Ukraine, or is it like a combo of things?
No, I don't. I think it's because of that a little bit. But we right now would have been, if we left our policies in place, we would have been able to supply the world with energy. And
what is he talking about? I mean, what is he talking about? How can anyone, with all of the discussion about gas prices at this point, not just understand what's going on? And
you probably wouldn't have a war for a lot of reasons. Number one, Putin would not have done it. He would not have done it. This would never have taken place.
If what? What is he saying now? It wouldn't have taken place if what?
If you had a person that did very well in the election, I'm being very nice when I say that too. I'm being very kind.
Oh, he's saying if he was president.
We did phenomenally in the election, 12 million more votes than we got.
Yeah, but Biden got 8 million more than you.
The previous time. If the election, if we were running, if you had the Trump administration in there would be no war, number one.
It's not even clear the people asking the questions have any idea what's going on. Like, it's not clear anybody knows what's going on. Sometimes Trump is like just saying nonsense, gobbledygook, but the interviewers at least have some sense of what he's wrong about or like what he's even saying incorrectly. The interviewers, like one guy's just grinning and drinking a beer and seems to have no clue what's even being discussed.
Yeah. And number two, energy prices would have been down. War or no war, they would have been very low because we were dominant. We were becoming, I call it energy dominance. We were dominant in energy and getting more so by the day.
Nice. Well, why wouldn't there have been a war? Because you were in office?
No, because I understood Putin. I talked to Putin. I spoke to him about Ukraine.
There would not have been a war because he was in office. There would not have been a war because he knew Putin.
And I said, don't do it. And I won't go into the exact conversation, but under certain, if certain people ask, I'll tell them exactly what the conversation was.
Not if you schlubs ask, but if other people ask, I'll tell them what happened.
But we look weak. We look stupid. Mm-hmm. We look like we don't know what we're doing.
So did he explain why there would not have been war if he was president? I'm not even understanding the answer. I start to question my own English comprehension when I see this and like I hear words coming out of Trump's mouth and there's people around him listening and it's not obvious that they don't get it, even though they obviously. So I start wondering, like, do I just not understand English well enough? Is that the problem? Is it my problem here?
And nobody's ever seen the country like this. And let me tell you, it really began not only with a horrible weak border, but it really began when they so incompetently withdrew from Afghanistan. I got it down to 2,000 soldiers. We were going to withdraw, but we weren't leaving $85 billion worth of equipment. We weren't leaving dead soldiers. And I spoke to the Taliban, the leader, Abdul.
So remember, guys, when Trump says I spoke to Abdul, he used to say I spoke to Muhammad. And now the story is I spoke to Abdul. My guess is he doesn't know who he spoke to.
And I said, don't ever kill any of our soldiers. Don't ever kill one more soldier. We're going to hit you harder than you've ever been hit before. And we went 18 months without a soldier being killed, without an American being, think of it, without an American being killed in Afghanistan. Not Democrat-run Chicago or New.
Man, what's disappointing is these guys are in so over their heads because they don't even understand the degree to which everything coming out of Trump's mouth is a lie, but they're completely ill-equipped or uninterested in even contesting any of it.
New York, but in Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. And 18 months, and then they did this withdrawal, which after 21 years was the right thing to do. But we were doing it. That's why we were down to 2,000 soldiers.
So it was the right thing to do. Okay.
So incompetently handled between the death and the $85 billion. They have better equipment than almost any country in the world. And now Afghanistan is one of the largest seller of arms anywhere in the world because they're selling it.
I was going to say, crazy. Afghanistan seems like it's overlooked at times right now. Like people forget about what is actually the current state of Afghanistan.
Yeah, people are what a great question. People aren't talking enough about Afghanistan, huh, Mr. President, sir?
Right now.
Well, I hear it's a mess.
Trump doesn't know either. I mean, nobody. I guess nobody cares.
We're sending a lot of money to Afghanistan, if you can believe this. They're asking for money, and we're sending it. They have 700,000 machine guns, rifles of all types. They're selling a lot of them. They don't need that many. There's no way they can use what we left. They have helicopters. They have planes.
How is this a UFC podcast? Like, how on earth did Trump end up in this situation? It's all I don't know who's interviewing him. I have no idea. Someone said it's the Pelkey boys. What are these guys named? Helke? Jelke? Nelke. Okay, it's the Nelke boys.
They're selling equipment to other countries. They're giving equipment to China and to Russia because they're going to re-engineer, de-engineer. They're going to come out with a helicopter just like our great helicopter. We have the greatest helicopters in the world. They now have them, and they're going to duplicate them. Afghanistan was, I think, the most embarrassing moment in
hold on. Here's someone. Dean Hill says, the Nelk dudes are from Toronto. They do YouTube prank videos, party videos, etc. They now have a huge frat boy following in the United States. Okay, so that's who is interviewing Trump.
Of our country, the way we got out, we looked like we were surrendering, which in a sense, I guess they were. To take the soldiers out before you take the American people out. American citizens are over there right now trying to get out. They can't. But to take the soldiers out first instead of last. First you take the people, then you may take some people from Afghanistan.
These guys seem bored. These guys seem completely bored with the interview. The guy looked completely lost as to what's even going on. It's not clear who's more ill-equipped for this conversation. Is it Trump or is it the guys interviewing him? Is this one of the prank videos? I think is a fair question. Like, is this the prank that they're doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you to Don Mark Irie for the gift. 2 gifts, actually, putting us at 19. I really appreciate that, guys. Also, huge thank you to Christian Tolley, who just got a membership on my website using the coupon code OBAMNA. OBAMNA. I very much appreciate that. Let's continue with this, but I'm not missing people supporting our stream today. Let's continue.
Not hundreds of thousands. We have no idea who we took out. But we take the people and we...
You don't typically see Gatorade at interviews with Trump.
Take all the equipment. And I said, I don't want to leave a screw, a nut, a bolt.
Well, you left a nut.
I want everything. What about the hangers, sir? Take them out. The big...
Sir.
Congratulations, sir. You just won the election.
Mr. President, sir, you can't ask that question. Sir, you're on the cover of Time Magazine again.
Yeah.
Leather and plastic hangers with steel. I said, you take them out. You take everything out.
What does that mean, take them out, though?
Take them out. Take them out of the country. What you do is you take your equipment out. We left thousands and thousands.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean?
Thousands of pairs of night goggles. Never even unpacked, brand new, better than what we have, the latest model. All of the, I understand 70,000, think of this, because who has anything? 70,000 trucks and vehicles, 70,000. There's no company in this country that has that many. And a lot of them.
I can't tell if this guy's laughing because he realizes how stupid everything. Like, why do we think this guy's laughing? Is he like, it's funny that we even got the president here? Is he so in awe and in love of Trump? Is he laughing because he knows it's all lies? Like, why is this particular guy grinning like a doofus the entire time? Because of the absurdity? Yeah, I don't know.
Armor plated, unbelievably expensive, like, 10 times the cost of a vehicle itself. Crazy. 70,000 vehicles we left there, trucks and other vehicles. And I tell you, so Putin was watching. We were all watching. You guys were watching. Mm-hmm. And the level of incompetence, and it looked like we ran the airport, the riot, the bombs going off, killing our soldiers, 13 killed, but many badly wounded. They don't talk about the ones with no legs and with no arms and as bad as that and worse, in a sense. I mean, some of our soldiers were so badly wounded, hurt. Nobody talks about that. We talk about the 13 dead. We talk about the unbelievable incompetence that short period of time had. But I believe that was the beginning, because Putin would have never done it with me. He was never going to take over Ukraine.
Do you ever talk to Putin still?
No, I haven't spoken to him since, but he was never, ever going to, certainly under the Trump administration. And I say zero chance. I don't say like I don't think. Zero chance he would have done it. And I spoke to him about it. Zero chance he would have done it.
Right, but you have a
he
good...
Saw,
yeah,
he,
go ahead.
he saw the weakness. He saw Afghanistan, that the way the incompetence of the withdrawal, the way they did it was so bad. Who advised them to take soldiers out first and leave people behind? And the soldiers were in no danger. We had, again, not one soldier was killed in 18 months, American soldier. And when they saw the incompetence, the growth...
We're kind of just retreading over the same ground here. He's repeating the same stuff over and over again. Thanks to Skittle Stew for gifting 5 subscriptions on Twitch. I appreciate that, Skittle.
Incompetence of that. I believe that Putin became a different man when he saw that. He viewed the United States differently. He no longer respected the United States. I believe that President Xi of China became a different man. They saw that too. And they see the borders that are open. They see all of the horrible things that are happening at the border where millions...
All right. I mean, let's skip ahead a little bit because this is an hour long. He's just repeating the same stuff. Let's see if they hit a different topic here.
Arizona.
That was some rally.
So we were on your
They're all
Instagram.
good.
You do throw some good campaign rallies. I mean, I tell you, your people are pretty loyal. Like it's pretty amazing how
Trump rallies are lit.
Trump rallies are pretty insane.
So we had a rally in Texas the other day, 87,000 people.
That's not true, right? Didn't we watch that? Wasn't it like 5,000? Wasn't it 5,000 people? Let's see if we can actually find. Okay, Donald Trump Texas rally. Was that February? Or was that, does anybody remember, was that February or January? February attendance. Let me see here. The reports say thousands, not 87,000. Let me see if I can get an exact count. Not seeing the exact number. 87,000 people. Yeah, every report says thousands. And we covered that. It looked like between 5,000 and 7,000 or something like that. Yeah, 87,000 people. What does that even mean?
And plenty of people couldn't get in. They just
Right.
couldn't get in. Too many people. They called it stampede. I spoke to the sheriff, who's great. Can you let those people get in? Thousands and thousands couldn't get in. He said, sir, we're worried about a stampede. You think of cattle, right, with the stampede.
87,000 people. Wow.
87,000
So,
people. In
Donald,
we had in Alabama, we had
Donald. Wow. Very, very informal here, huh? Donald.
63,000 people.
wild.
Wherever we go, we have, literally 50, 60,
Why is that guy
70,000
laughing?
people now. We have more people now than we
I
did.
wonder if that guy might be, I'm starting to think the guy laughing is the smartest guy in the room. He may be realizing how these are all literally lies. That may be the one guy who understands what's happening. I'm now starting to think.
Before the election. It's been amazing. There's anger. There's distrust. They know the election was rigged. It was a totally rigged election, like a third world country, and they're angry about it. They're angry about a lot of things. They're going to be really angry when they start paying 3 times more for their gasoline.
But the question is, Don, are you coming? I mean, I don't need to ask it. So I think
Don. What is with these guys, huh?
you've hinted at it. Are you coming back and going to run for president of the United States?
Well, the campaign finance laws don't really allow you to discuss that unless you're going to literally go through a different process. So I think a lot of people are going to be really happy.
Don.
You guys might be really happy, but
No, we're gonna be
I
happy.
think a lot of people are going to be very happy. But I'll
How
wait.
so? What do you
I'll
mean by
after.
that?
Well, I'll wait till I have so many people wanting me to do it. I think really that a lot of people are going to be very happy. They are very unhappy right now. Look, their
You're saying with the
gasoline is
Democrat
going
Party,
to
with-
triple, quadruple.
Yeah.
It's going to levels. A friend of mine said the other day, "Who's got money?" He said, "I just paid 3 times more for gasoline than I've been paying for the last 3 years." And he said, "What are people going to do?" He couldn't believe it. He goes to the pump and
The gas prices right now are a problem. I mean, who's going to deny that? It's just, it barely has anything to do with Joe Biden or Donald Trump. And I've said that for so long,
gets a bill. He gets a bill for XLs for years, and it's fine. And all of a sudden, it's 3 times higher
Does
than
Trump know how people buy gas?
he's ever
It's
than he's
680
ever
or something
paid
like that.
before.
680 in
Well, they
California.
just announced that it's now over $7, and it's over $5 in many places, and it was $1.87. I had it down to $1.87, and even less than that during a certain period of time. And
That those aren't the real numbers. See, this guy's laughter, I feel like, is a knowing laughter. Increasingly, I'm thinking this guy knows what's up.
The cost for a barrel was down to 30 and even less than that.
We skipped ahead a 20 minutes. They're still talking about gas. So let's skip ahead again and see what other ground they cover.
It wasn't a call. We got through people. A meeting was set up in Singapore, and then in Vietnam. We had 2 meetings. But we didn't have the problem that the Democrats would have had. They would have had a nuclear war with North Korea. I have no doubt about it.
There is absolutely, you can never say no chance, but there is no serious chance that if Hillary Clinton had won, we would have been engaged in a nuclear war with North Korea. That's extraordinarily stupid. I want to say thank you to Lynn Eddington. Lynn just signed up on my website with the coupon code OBAMNA.
Obama.
Also want to say thank you to, I guess no one. BW Rock says these guys look like they're doing a Southwest commercial. I think the real story is these guys were Eric Trump's frat brothers at Penn. That can't be true. Guarantee Trump has never pumped his own gas. I don't even know that Trump drives.
Kim Jong-un wanted nothing to do with him. This is years now. We would have had a nuclear war with North Korea. Who's coughing back there? Are you okay? Is that your crew? The media will say Trump's coughing. There must be something wrong with him.
We run a
COVID's going around in Mar-a-Lago.
There's
pretty
COVID.
laid back.
COVID in Mar-a-Lago.
We run a pretty laid back thing. We're all good.
But
continue on.
But let me just say, we would have had war with North Korea. North Korea is a major nuclear power.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate hearing Biden say, no, we don't want anything to do with Russia. They're a nuclear power, but so are we. And we're a bigger nuclear power. And we have brand new, because of me, nuclear weapons that we didn't have. And we have renovated weapons that were very old.
Is that true? Trump had weapons renovated? Do you guys know about that? I understand they put in hardwood flooring.
And now they're renovated. And we never want to use them. And by the way, you know how you're not going to use them? By having them. If you didn't have them, we would have big problems.
Right.
But we have them. But Biden shouldn't be talking the way he's talking, because he's playing right into Putin's hands. Putin, I've never heard this from a leader outside of Kim Jong-un, I guess, to a large extent. But Putin now talks about his nuclear capability all the time.
Yeah.
He said, this is you do the no-fly zone, you do this. We're a nuclear country. And Biden's saying they're a nuclear country. Mm-hmm. It's so weak. It's sending such a bad
Would you have a no-fly zone?
I have to say this. Yeah. The bombing of these cities, indiscriminately, the bombing of these cities and the killing of all these people is a tragedy.
It's bad, yes. Wow, we have a point of agreement. The bombing and the killing is bad. I'll tell you, I agree with Trump on that.
This is a tragedy like I don't think we've witnessed since World War II.
Whoa.
That's crazy what's going on.
No, they're bombing. You know, in Florida, we're in Florida, you had a building collapse in Florida on the beach, as you know, through bad structural engineering or rust or something. A lot of people were killed in that building. He's bombing much bigger buildings, and they're collapsing. And then they say, you see this massive building coming down all over the place. People are in that building. But you see the building come down, and then they say, 2 people were hurt. No. When a building like that comes down, many people die. It's not 2 people are hurt, but
is that a thing that there's a suspicion we don't know the real toll of the building collapse in Surfside, Florida? I didn't even know that was a thing. Who's lying about that? Is that a thing? I've never heard that before.
Coming down all over, and they're being blown to pieces. And so we had a case in Florida, as you know, on the shore where a building collapsed for totally different reasons.
Oh, he's saying in Ukraine they're lying about the number? It's not even clear which building he's talking about.
But it collapsed. Well, buildings are collapsing now in Ukraine, and there are tens of thousands of people being killed, and nobody's reporting it.
What is that? Now, is that true? Because there's a lot of right-wingers saying the deaths are being overstated in Ukraine. There's no evidence for that. But Trump now says that they're being understated.
The press is trying to gloss it over.
What the hell is he talking about?
And I think if Putin is successful in taking over Ukraine, depending on what your definition of success is, because, potentially millions of people are going to die, and it could lead to Third World War, by the way. It could lead to a Third World War. I think
crazy.
I think what is going on now...
That's crazy.
...is a direct reflection on the Obama administration.
Oh, God. We're going to skip forward a little bit more. They barely move from... He's talking about 10 things at once, and yet they also haven't moved forward at all. Jack asks, will I live stream the Democratic primary debate for Pennsylvania Senate on April 3rd? Probably not, because I'm traveling April 4th, and April 3rd, I have a bunch of recording and things to get done in advance of my trip. So unfortunately, I probably can't do that one. Let's keep going.
But if you criticize Biden, which we're doing, because again, this war, this Ukrainian disaster should never, ever have happened.
And
it wouldn't have happened.
But yeah, we're definitely not scared of that because we're used to it. I think that's why we're here. Like you said, Dana respects us. People respect us because we never really gave a shit about stuff.
But this is now big time.
Right. The place where you want to go is to people who don't give a shit. That's exactly who you want to be talking to, and that's why Dana White loves them so much.
This is now. I'm sorry.
This
is now big time.
I think even when we met you, before, when Dana brought us on Air Force One with you, even just us posting that, we got a lot of flack. But I mean, we don't really care.
And you got a lot of love too, by the way. Just so you know,
God.
you got more love than you did flack. I'll say this.
Little flack though. Little flack. We got a little flack for Don. We got a little flack for.
I think we'd get more flack for doing something with Biden. We would in our fan base, if we did something with Biden,
our fan base
we would lose so many.
Well, yeah, I mean that obviously that's true.
Difference is they wouldn't try and destroy you. Let's see how you react. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm done.
This is big time.
I made it.
This is big time. I want to see
big time.
And don't apologize, though. Don't apologize when they come at you. Please don't apologize.
To be fair, I think we'd. It's not like we support you and stuff, but
is this the victimization part where they're going to spend 10 minutes saying the fact that we did this interview, they're going to try to cancel us. They're going to try to do it.
With our platform, we would have someone from the other side too.
First of all,
but
that's
they would.
The beginning.
But they won't do it.
Don.
Here's
We like
the
Don.
beginning.
We like to have.
They wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I don't think Nancy
Don,
Pelosi would ever sit.
you
She would never sit down.
Why does everybody talk at once too?
We do.
Biden
We have a
sit
very, very, very successful podcast because we bring in everybody. We're not biased in any way, shape, or form.
Good.
We like to sit down with people.
What do you mean? They said they support him and that they love him and they were on Air Force One with him. What are they talking about?
People that are involved in really big things that are happening in the world today.
But the other side wouldn't sit down.
The other side has not showed us respect like you guys have, which is amazing.
Yeah, I'll talk to these guys anytime. What's he talking about?
That's the difference.
They may sit down, but what they will do is they will censor you.
Exactly.
They will do things to you that you would not have believed because we don't have a free press.
No.
In theory, you should be able to talk about.
What do you mean we don't have a? What? They just say no. We don't have a free press. What's he talking about? What do you mean we don't have a free press? Trump's the guy who wanted to control the press and kick out journalists. What do you mean we don't have a free press? Thankfully, we still mostly do, despite Trump's best efforts as president.
Anything, and you argue back and forth, and the public will.
My career is kind of already going this way.
Well,
anyway,
no, your career might go way up, but you may be without a platform, or you may be without whatever it is. They will be vicious. You watch. And I just want to see how you're young, smart guys. I want to see how you handle it.
Well, we won't let you down.
But you will be hit.
Donald.
Maybe you won't.
Donald.
Well, the good news is, if worst case scenario, I used to caddy at a golf club. Can I caddy for you?
Absolutely. I'd love to have you. Can be my caddy anytime.
You sure? All right, cool.
Anytime.
Yeah, but Donald, when you talk about like power and stuff like that, what's more like powerful to you, being the president or being a multi-billionaire? Like,
Oh my God. Wow. That's almost just, this is all too much. Yeah, but Donald, like, what's more powerful? Let's see what he answers.
owning real estate and like, what's your opinion on that?
In the history of our country, nothing like me has ever happened. I don't say that.
Now we're getting to, that is right, sir. We have never seen anything like you in the history of our country. Now I think we're on the same page. Now I think we're on the same page.
You've never had a business.
No, I agree with you, yeah.
It was, I think, 93% politicians became president and 7% generals. So you had soldiers and you had politicians. There's never been an outsider. Likewise, nobody's ever been treated as badly as I have by the fake news media, by, everything. And we do our own fighting back and all. But, I mean, if you look at their approval rating,
By the way, notice he's not even answering the question. He was asked, where did you feel most powerful, as a multi-billionaire real estate guy or as president? He's not even answering the question. Like, it's almost like he doesn't even really get the question.
It used to be like through the roof because nobody knew how corrupt they were.
What do we think? Does he ever answer the question or does he never answer the question? What do you guys think? Will he actually give an answer? Everybody says no for the most part. One person says yes. All right, let's see.
And now I think it's lower than Congress. The media's, which is pretty hard. I think it's lower than Congress. But I will say this, and just in ending, I will say this.
He's wrapping the interview.
I'm going to be watching you guys.
Guys, the question was, where did you feel that you had more power, as president of the United States or as multi-billionaire real estate guy? Does he not like the question? Does he not understand the question? Did he forget the question? Is it ADHD? I don't even know.
I'm going to see how you handle it.
Right.
And I hope I don't have to say I told you so. But what I did say to people like Merkel is don't do it. And it turned out to be true. They did have one story about that today. Very interesting.
Obviously, the question's idiotic. I agree with you guys, but it's just he didn't even answer it.
I told her you're making a terrible I used to fight with her over it. The pipeline.
Do you think these guys know who Merkel is?
Because I said, they own your country once you do it. But we're now forcing Germany and Japan to become major powers militarily. And there are a lot of people, including me, that say that might not be a very good idea. Be careful what you wish for. And with that, it's been a great honor.
One more thing.
I like Trump ending the interview. That's cool.
I heard you're becoming quite the DJ here at Mar-a-Lago. I heard you're spinning.
You DJ? Would you believe it? I love music. I have an aptitude for music.
What type of
Oh my God, I have an aptitude for music. That is just too much. That is just too much.
That. During, over our lives, we take tests and aptitude tests and all this. I've always had a high aptitude for music, but I love great music.
Does Trump know how to read music or play an instrument? I mean, just anything? Anything at all? What is he talking about?
So do you actually spin or
no, I don't spin,
what do you use?
But I pick the ones I like. I don't want to spin. I want to pick the ones I like.
What's your like go-to banger on the
Well,
aux?
I have a lot of them. You know a song that does get people moving though? I'll play beautiful.
Okay, what song is he going to say? What song is he going to say, guys? I have no idea. Is he going to say YMCA? I have no idea. What do we think? Let's see I can't even imagine what song he's going to say.
I love Broadway stuff and, Phantom of the Opera and Les Mis, etc. You know what gets them rocking? YMCA.
Oh, it's too much. It's too much. It's the only song any of us could think of. It's not clear he knows any other song. That is unbelievable. That's the best. It's like a parody. YMCA, people just love it. Oh my God. I even have it on my soundboard. Hold on, where is it? Here it is. That you really can't make this up. I've never seen anything like this.
YMCA is a track. It's an underrated track.
Do you know, is it an underrated?
I think so.
Well, it gets a lot of views, I can say. But YMCA, the gay national anthem, did you ever hear that? They call it the gay national anthem. But YMCA gets people up and it gets them moving. Mm-hmm. But we have a lot of good selections and people love it when I do it.
I genuinely don't know if Trump knows any songs other than YMCA and that Proud to Be an American song. It's unclear to me he is aware of any songs.
What's the best song to like transition to, like YMCA to what?
Okay, let's see if he names it. Let's see what else he names here now.
Maybe
Mo Bamba?
Maybe Hold On, I'm Coming.
Okay.
What song is that? What song is that? I don't even know what that is. Anybody have any idea what that is? What the hell is going on? Sam and Dave. Let's see what that is. I've never heard of this before. Like, I have no idea what he's talking about. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, I know the song. All right, so that's Sam and Dave, yeah. Man, this is wild.
So 2 a.m., you go to YMCA to Hold On, We're Coming, and that just gets the crowd going?
Well, you know, we just have a good time. Actually, we have great people. There's been a tremendous place, Mar-a-Lago. It's a private club. It's been an amazing place.
What's your handicap right now in golf? Because I'm a big time golfer.
Yeah, I've been a very successful golfer over the years. You know,
yeah.
I don't play as much as you really should play if you want to become top, but I've been very successful. I've won many.
Okay, he was asked what his handicap is. Will he answer that? Will he give a number? What do you guys think? Is that a question that he's willing to answer, or is he not even going to answer that? A couple people say he's ultimately going to give a number. Okay, let's see.
Many club championships, which is hard to do. That's our major.
I seen you hit a driver, and you said Biden couldn't hit it like that.
Well, that I can tell you. That I guarantee you.
Biden probably hits his driver like 120.
Well, they asked Gary Player the other night. They said, who's the best player? How many presidents?
No answer. Man, he can't answer anything. Anything. Were you more powerful as president or as a billionaire real estate guy? No answer. What's your handicap? No answer. I've been successful at golf.
Have you played with? He said, I played with 7. Who's the best player? Trump by far. He said he's at least 20 or 25 strokes better than anybody else.
Really?
And I said, Gary, isn't it more than that? But that's a big statement. But Gary Player is a great legendary golfer, as you know. But they asked him that question, and he said, Trump by far.
Are you like a shit talker on the golf course? You try and get people's heads?
No. You got to get the job done.
Yeah, you just got to get the job. So you just execute.
You can talk.
Yeah.
And then you can miss the putt, and all the talk is no good. In fact, it hits you. So you still got to get the job done, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's sort of like when he insisted he was going to win, and then he lost by millions and millions, and then you look kind of dumb.
And by the way, I do want to say you look. But when you see Don, he gets a lot of shit for his hair and his way. He's like, you look good.
I feel good.
He looks great.
You look great.
I feel good. So far, so
What's
good.
your like mental regimen like when you're in president? Like you said, you slept.
When you're in president, that's a really good question. When you're in president, what do you do?
Like 6 hours a night.
I
Like
don't
how
sleep
do
a
you?
lot.
How do you do that?
You know what?
They're acting like not sleeping a lot is part of a regimen. It's like, no, not sleeping a lot's bad for you.
I enjoy doing it. I love doing it because I was helping the country. I mean, look at what we did.
He's not going to answer that either, right? He's not going to answer what his regimen is. He's already just walked all over the question.
The things
amazing,
we did,
though.
biggest tax cuts in history, rebuilt the military, biggest regulation cuts in history. You know, that was maybe more important, and people don't talk about it, than even the tax cuts. We had, until COVID came, the China virus came in, we had the greatest economy in history. We were doubling up. We were going to double up on China, and everyone said China was going to take over. We were taking over. We were doubling up. And then it came in, and we did a phenomenal job. And then when I left, this economy was very strong again. Plus, we did Operation Warp Speed, which even the radical left, Biden tried to take credit for it. Remember, he said,
Man, I've really never seen anything like this. Let's see how it all wraps up here. Let's see just the last few moments of it.
If it's not you, upcoming, who should it be?
Who do you
well,
like?
we're going to see.
You like DeSantis?
I get along with him great. I was the one that got him started. He came and asked for a
Trump's kind of feuding with DeSantis, so this is actually kind of interesting.
A recommendation, an endorsement. He said, if you give me an endorsement, I'll win. And I gave him an endorsement. He was at 3%. And after I endorsed him, he took a lead that was not a beatable lead. He got the nomination.
You still got along with him?
Won.
Did you see DeSantis?
Did you guys hear that? Someone said, do you still get along with him? And Trump ignored it. And now this guy's talking.
Telling the kids to take off the masks. I don't know if you've seen that video.
I haven't seen it. But it is time to take off the masks.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I would agree if that were the case.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you all very much.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mr. President.
Thank you so
This is
much.
awesome.
We have to free up the press in this country. If we don't free up the press, this country's finished.
We appreciate it.
Let's do some photos. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Trump hates shaking hands, too. Man, this is all really something.
Thank you so much. Man.
All right, Secret Service is gonna probably kick us out right now, but guys, Full Send Podcast is officially #1 now. I think it's safe to say. Subscribe.
Yeah. Wow. That is really something. That is really, really. I've never seen anything like that. We're going to have to clip this and make it its own clip because I truly have not seen anything like that. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna need time to really think about that and really think about what's happening here. Okay, I want to remind everybody I am giving away my gavel. We have adjudicated so many unban requests that the gavel broke, as you can see, and I've signed it, I've autographed it, and we will be giving it away to a Twitch viewer when we get to 100,000 Twitch followers. We're getting very, very close to that, and we are going to be giving this away. We'll figure out how to give it away. If anybody has an idea of how to do it, by all means, email us, info@davidpakman.com. And I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. So thank you for joining me. We will have more streams coming up very, very soon. And everybody in Ukraine, we're sending our best wishes. Stay safe, and we're going to continue covering what's going on. See you very soon.